So hello everyone, welcome back to EduTap and welcome to the success story session. Today with us we have Mr. Mahendra who has cleared the NABARD Grade A in this year only and the results are out. So Mr. Mahendra has cleared the NABARD Grade A. So first of all, heartiest congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
So today we will understand about his story, that how he was able to clear the NABARD Grade A, what were his struggles and how he overcame those struggles. So he has given the UPSC exam, he has given the other regulatory bodies exam also. And there is a struggle behind his clearing this NABARD Grade A. Let's understand the struggle and how he overcame those struggles, what he learned from his much experience of the government examinations. So first of all, let's understand his educational background before moving forward with the story of his journey. So kindly tell about your educational background, sir.
Yes, madam. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahendra Kumar Dantrao. I am from Pune, Maharashtra. In terms of education, I am a computer engineer from Pune University. Thereafter, I completed my postgraduate diploma in advanced computing from SIDAC Pune. Thereafter, I completed my MBA in finance from Indira Institute of Management Pune. And since then, I am preparing for UPSC mains. And currently, I am also pursuing LLB. And in the last year, from Government Law College, Mumbai. And from UPSC, I have given 2 mains. And this year, I clear from finance team of NABARD Grade A exam.
How did you came to know about this NABARD and what motivated you to give the NABARD exam?
While preparing for UPSC exam, I came to know about this 3 regulatory body exam, namely NABARD, RBI, and SEBI. So it was natural choice for any UPSC aspirant. If they have failed in that UPSC exam or struggling to clear the UPSC exam, they switch to this regulatory body exam.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir. So now coming to the struggles, like you have given the UPSC exam, you have given the SEBI exam, and you reached to the phase of mains. And then there was the failure that happened. So how you were able to overcome those troubles and how you were able to overcome that kind of drawback, like the setback that you got. So what kept you motivated?
yes, the motivation was that it was an obvious choice for any UPSC aspirant to switch. That's the only natural. But in terms of pay and the perks and allowances that are being given by this regulatory body are very much similar to private. I would say it is more than the private in some sense, and the work-life balance is good, and so and the learning from this working in this institution is also good. So it was a natural choice for me to switch to these exams.
And you never felt demotivated or that I should leave this journey of the government examinations and should go to the private sector or something. So usually the students, after giving 2-3 attempts, they are very tired, we can say. So what kept you motivated in that sense that you keep on giving this government exams and at last cleared a most coveted job, I can say, the NABARD Grade A?
I would say the demotivation is a time constraining factor. Suppose you fail in this exam, it will be failed by at just for 10 or 15 days. Thereafter, you have no choice but to prepare for another exam or prepare something for private also. I would like to give an example of this year also. On 6th December, result of UPSC mains were declared, and I got failed in that exam. But just before, I think second or third day, the NABARD phase 2 result came out. So I need to handle that situation. At one time, I was preparing for UPSC and failed in that, and another time, I was also preparing for NABARD and got into the interview call. So I don't have any time to take on that regret on why I failed UPSC. So that was a natural choice for me to prepare for NABARD, whatever I have in my hand.
Yeah, that is a really good example, and that is a really good thing that first of all, you were trying for the NABARD also because you know that how hard the UPSC is. So the backup
Yes,
option should always be there, I can say. As well
yes.
as you were not set on your failures only. You knew that the other opportunities are out there and you should grab the opportunity that you are getting. Like NABARD Grade A Officer is a very big post, and it is like you are here and you have cleared the examination. You, how happy you are. Just tell us about that also, how happy your family is.
I would say after a lot of failures, uh, and this was a success. So it was an obvious big achievement for me at least, because I have given multiple. Even last year I have given the banking exam also, but could not clear the final stage. But this year, so that was a obvious good success for me.
Yes, and how? What was the reaction of your family when they first saw your, like you have cleared the exam?
Actually, they were more happier than me.
That is family, I can say.
Yeah.
They are always happy now. So now I think we have talked about the struggles and how you came for the NABARD Grade A. And now, can you tell some learnings that you have got from so many government exams that you have given? So any learnings that you feel that will help the aspirants also a lot?
For any exam to clear, let it be government, you need to understand what is the exam pattern of the exam, and thereafter you need to look at the syllabus and what are the sources required for the exam to clear the exam. For that matter, you need to check out with the previous year question on, so you can understand what actually is being asked, what and you have to stick to the syllabus, because in such a examination, be it an NABARD or UPSC, you need to stick to syllabus because the question, the area of knowledge or knowledge resources are very vast,
Hmm.
and you can control that factor by just concentrating on the previous year question and the syllabus. And this strategy has come out from the UPSC only, because in UPSC the knowledge is very vast, but you have to restrict yourself to the syllabus only. Then only you can clear the exam.
Yes.
So that could be applied in the other exam also.
Yes, so in all the government exams, especially the regulatory bodies exam, the syllabus is given. So stick to it, see the previous year question papers, and then you know that what kind of pattern is there, and syllabus is there. So stick to it. So that is a great advice to all the aspirants. Now, there is other question that comes in the mind of the aspirants also. They have this kind of myth, we can say, that if you are giving the UPSC exam, it is going to benefit you a lot for the NABARD. So, do you agree with this, or do you not agree with this?
I partially agree with this, because if you have an APC background or any other state competitive exam background, you have some syllabus that is common with this regulatory body exams. For example, in general stream of the NABARD, there is social sector development, and these are there is an overlap of this syllabus with the UPSC or any other exam. So you have better idea how to study it in a minimum time. So that would be help. But there is also a negative point of it, because the syllabus is what the knowledge is vast. The questions that are asked in the regulatory bodies and the other state competitive and UPSC exam are different. Suppose in UPSC and other exams there are analytical questions, but in NABARD and other exams there are stream specific questions, and these are more of like actual question, not a much analytical question. So that
Yes,
differs from these two perspectives.
yes,
So
that
you
is
need
true.
to look at this only.
Yes. So partially, if you have prepared before also, so it is going to help because you have the knowledge. Some knowledge is there, right?
Yes.
But of course, like the NABARD, RBI, SEBI, they are the factual. The facts and figures are there. While in UPSC, we can say it is like you have already told, it is more analytical. So just the aspirants should prepare with their own strengths and weaknesses, and they should not be worried about what the others are doing. So yes, that is also true. So now I think we have talked about the motivation and the struggles and the learnings. Now we can move to the strategy part. So we will talk about the strategy of yours for the phase one. Okay, so let's start with the qualifying section, like the QRE, the decision making, and the computer knowledge. So can you tell a little about that?
In qualifying section, you need to qualify only. So do not need to score top marks in. So mere practice of some banking test series or available that would suffice in this. For me, I was preparing for CSAT of UPSC and others banking exam. So I have got that experience of solving the question in quick manner. So that helped me to clear this exam. And there are sections like computer section and decision making section. There need in computer section you have to look at the previous year question, because these questions are very related to some Word document shortcuts, and what are the structure of this application like PowerPoint. So if you are thorough with that, then you can clear the section. In decision making, it is a very difficult stuff, I would say, because the cutoff is very less, but the questions are very unpredictable. Even you click the correct answer, you would not know that it is correct answer. So previous year question and the other decision making questions from other exams would suffice, and will get a better idea of this section. These two sections are more important. Other quant section and the reasoning section will get from the other banking exam. If you practice just for 1 month, then it would suffice for this qualifying section.
Yes. So, and what were your sources for the QRE and the decision making and the computer knowledge? You have told that you used the previous year question papers of the other exams, but still, did you follow any one source or something?
For qualifying, I haven't followed any such sources yet.
So, you think that the practice is going to help you to clear the qualifying section?
Yes.
Okay. And how important do you think the mocks are for the phase one?
For phase one, mocks are important because there are two benefits of it. One is that you get practice and time management of the actual exam, so you get familiar with that. Second is the content. Sometimes the question in the mock test are repeated in the real exam or around it. Suppose there is question on some report, and you have attempted that question in a mock test, but there is an explanation below that. And in actual real exam, there might be a question from the explanation, but not the actual question. So that would help in the actual exam. So
Yes.
mocks are important in time management and resource and content improvement.
Yes, that is so true. So the mocks are very important, as sir has also said. Now coming to the merit section, that is the GA, ESI, and the ARD. Now, how like you have given the exam from the finance post, right? So how difficult ARD was for you, and how you started with that subject?
For a pure finance background student, it would be very difficult to cope up with these schemes and the ARD section especially. But I would say I am just a beneficial of my background in it of UPSC, so I could I do not have to prepare much for that, because there are schemes that are asked in UPSC and any other exam. I need to revise that only. In ARD section, it is difficult for any normal background student, except the student that have background in the agriculture or biotechnology. But there are some question in our niche area in that ARD section which any normal student can prepare, like the types of soil. And there is also question on the farming pattern. Every year there are one or two questions on that, and some the question in the ARD section are also from the scheme that may overlap with the ESI section.
Hmm.
So that would help in this. And in terms of general awareness, if you look at all three sections, ESI, ARD, and this general awareness, these are questions that are related to social sector, development sector. So these will overlap with the one another. You can put a question in a general awareness and put that question also same in the ARD or ESI section. So these questions, you can get idea of this section questions from the previous year question. That would help to sort out the sources for which you need to prepare.
Yes, that is
Most
true.
important are the reports, indices like Pratham report and other world organization like IMF, that would suffice. And I think for this section, suppose the exam in the April month, so you need to prepare from the January, February, March, April, 3 months. 4 months. That will suffice for the, because most of the question are from this current affairs only. Either it is late, the scheme may be from the 4 5 years before, but that scheme was in news, so that is asked. You would think that this is old question, 6 month old, but it is actually it is not. There was a news about the scheme, so it is being asked.
Yes. So now Mohit is asking, like we have got a comment that how you were able to memorize the facts and figures, like even if you have the UPSC background, but that is analytical, right? So how
Yeah.
in NABARD you were able to like memorize the facts and figures? That is a big problem for all the aspirants, right?
Yeah, it is a very big problem for me also. Uh, Only key to this question and problem is that you have to revise the whatever your facts you are remembering. Suppose you have read 3 months current affairs, and you in a small paper you write those facts which are not being which are more important, you think more important. So after 1 or 2 days you revise that facts, it will automatically remember for the day of the exam. If you ask me those facts today on also, I could not answer that. So the factual information is stored for a very less amount of time. So for that matter, you have to revise just before the exam so that it could remember in your mind. And also while giving the mock, these facts get repeated, so you get what would I say, अगर कोई फैक्ट्स हम आज पढ़ रहे, अगर कोई मॉक्स आज दिया है 2 दिन बाद दिया है, वो फैक्ट्स अगर उस एग्जाम मॉक में आते हैं तो जो ज्यादा याद रहते।
Hmm.
अगर आपका वो आंसर गलत भी हो गया तो भी वो फैक्ट्स आप देखते हैं वापस, कि उसके बाद वो फैक्ट्स फिर से ध्यान में आते, फिर एक्चुअल एग्जाम में वो ये नहीं होता।
हाँ, अगर एक ही चीज को बार बार रिवाइज कर रहे हैं थ्रू द मॉक्स ऑल्सो, बिकॉज मॉक्स में क्वेश्चन आ रहा है, सो यू सी द क्वेश्चन, यू कैन आंसर इफ यू हैव गुड रिवीजन। नाउ देयर इज अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट आप अपने नोट्स बना रहे थे ऑफ द फैक्ट्स, like you have said ki you were writing the important facts, so like you were making daily notes or monthly notes or what process you were following?
इट अगर कोई 3 मंथ का करंट अफेयर एक एक मंथ में पढ़ रहा है, तो जो व्हाइट पेपर पे आप जो मंथ वो लिखो, उसके बाद जो फैक्ट से आप कर रहे हो, जो रीड किया है मंथ में हाईलाइट करके, उसी के थोड़े थोड़े फैक्ट्स लिखते जाओ, वही याद रिवाइज करेंगे तो याद रहेगा। ऐसा
Yes.
स्पेशल वगैरह नोट्स वगैरह नहीं बनाए नहीं मैं।
Yeah. And like there is the diversion कि some people say कि download कर लो PDF और highlight कर दो important facts or figures. The other people say कि अपने मतलब हाथ से notes बनाओ. So what is your take on this कि notes better हैं या फिर highlight ही कर दो बस?
हाईलाइट किया तो अच्छा है, लेकिन हाईलाइट भी बहुत ज्यादा होता है ऐसा कभी कभी, कि वो अगर हाईलाइट ज्यादा होगा तो प्रॉब्लम रिवाइज करने में होता है। जो इम्पोर्टेंट है याद रखते हो तो हाईलाइट करो, और जो जो नोट्स बनाते हो वो फैक्ट्स के बनाओ। अगर ज्यादा नोट्स बनाओगे वो पीडीएफ भी बहुत कुछ तो 100 पेज का रहता है, 100 के ऊपर, कभी कभी 200 पेज का रहता है। तो इसके नोट्स बनाते हुए उतना बनाने में उतना टाइम नहीं, so better to stick to the notes of the factual information and not the actual words.
हाँ, जो इम्पोर्टेंट लाइक इन सम स्कीम ऑल्सो कि इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्ट्स है, बजट एलोकेशन हो गया, तो उसको बस उतना ही लिखो इंस्टेड ऑफ पूरी लाइंस लिखने के। सो
हाँ,
व्हेन यू हैव द रियल एग्जाम, सो उससे पहले यू हैव द शॉर्ट नोट्स टू गो थ्रू। दैट इज सो ट्रू। So now coming to the question of sources, what sources were you following for the GA, ASI and ARD, I can say?
I prepared the scheme document of any coaching institute you make it. Don't prepare the UPSC wala scheme document. It's very vast. So any coaching institute that provide the scheme document. Also, there is a iExam monthly current affair. You can refer to that, and you can skip the portion that are very less frequently asked in the actual exams, like days and the awards of uh, uh, some military exercise also, not just one or two questions. So get the cost and benefit analysis of what you are reading and what it actually being asked. So you can analyze that and refer only those important sections which are essential for the exam.
Okay, so you were getting the free PDFs, and through that only you were preparing a lot from the sources that were available to you, like the schemes documents from the UPSC background and everything. And for the
Yeah.
ARD also, you followed the UPSC, like from the UPSC background, whatever knowledge you had. For the ARD, you were focusing on that only.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so now I think we can move to the phase two. So coming to the paper one, that is the descriptive English. So how much practice did you put for the descriptive English? Because usually the aspirants are like, we are very comfortable with English, so हम उसी time देखेंगे या थोड़ी सी practice के साथ they go.
Actually, I haven't practiced for English section at all because same the UPSC background and the
Yeah.
questions are related to development sector and other, which could be easily guessed. And there were just you need to look at the questions that are being asked and the letter format, what are the structure of the letter, and try to do not make any mistakes, spelling mistake in the uh, typing. So because if there is a typing mistake, I think they reduces the marker. So it will, even the content will be good, but your marks will be less. I could say it because in 2-3 exams of descriptive, I have scored good in that exam. Even the content was not that great, but I have avoided the spelling mistakes in the answers.
Yes, because that is something that is in your control. Ki spelling mistake
Yes,
now, and you have
yes,
already had the practice through the UPSC because you
yes.
were writing the descriptive answers. But for the students that do not have this practice, they should.
I would
Hmm.
I would say use the simple language, simple English language, and focus on the keywords. Like digital literacy, digital divide, rural empowerment. These are the keywords. It would uh, ये वर्ड्स ऐसे हैं कि ज्यादा मीनिंगफुल कंटेंट दे सकते हैं क्योंकि एक सेंटेंस में पूरा वर्ड डिस्क्राइब कर सकते, एक वर्ड है ना पूरा सेंटेंस कभी कभी डिस्क्राइब कर सकता है,
Hmm.
तो उसमें वर्ड्स भी बचत होते हैं और एक्चुअल आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं वो भी अच्छी तरह से समझ आता है जो चेक कर रहे हो.
That is true. And you are giving the exam for the NABARD, so rural development and financial
Yeah.
literacy, ये सब बहुत ज़्यादा importance रखता है. So that is true. So you do not do the spelling mistakes, avoid that, and we have learned from you that use the keywords. The
Yes.
more you use the keywords, the better the answer will come out. And now, can you tell, like you have the UPSC experience also, you have this NABARD experience also. So can you tell that what attempt should be done first? Like the essay should be attempted first, or the RC, or the letter?
Essay should be attempted first. Thereafter, you could stick to the reading comprehension, and then you can go to letter because in letter within 15 minutes you can complete the letter.
Yes. And how important the format is for the letter, especially.
Letter format you need to put as the letters are in for formal in nature,
Hmm.
so the content and the words are very less. You need to type very less in that formal letter. What is your request to the organization or authority, that need to be mentioned, and not flimsy language should be used in the letter also.
Hmm.
So the format, you will get any format on the net, you just take it and write that letter, it will suffice. And letter is a very not time consuming part of this English section. What is important is the essay and the reading comprehension. If you invest too much time on the essay, then you will not get time in the reading comprehension, because the question would be very difficult, and that could not, the 5 questions and the word limit is also very high. So you have to manage that reading comprehension section in your own words. Don't copy from that what is being put in the passage. So you need to use your own language. That would, and it should be. It is not that the word should be stick with, word limit should be stick with. You can uh, cover that whatever being gist of the question in the small paragraph only.
Yes, that's true. So now I think we have covered the English descriptive part. Coming to the paper two. So, did you prepare through a particular source? Was there a particular source, or you were only focusing on your MBA notes or something like that? Because you have given the exam from the finance stream.
Okay, for paper two, for descriptive section, I didn't prepare any notes, because the questions that are being asked are more of a general in nature, like e-commerce. That could be asked in the general stream also, e-commerce. Then other questions that are not very technical in nature, like difference between managerial accounting, cost accounting,
Hmm.
then difference between fund flow statement, cash flow statement. And are more questions that are analytical in nature, like microfinance
Hmm.
and financial inclusion, fintech industry.
Hmm.
You can have that idea in that question because of your reading in the pre-exam. So you can put that in a simple manner. So I don't think so there is any specific need to prepare for this section. But there are some questions like off balance sheet items. So you need to look at these on the net. You can refer that and get an idea, because these are questions that you have a fair idea as a background of your finance stream. So you can put that in the answer also.
Okay. So now I think we can move to the interview part. So how was the panel? Did you give any mock interviews before going for the final interview?
Yes, I have given 3 mocks, one of the EduTap, and the questions that are being asked in the finance interview are very different from the questions that are asked in the general stream. Because in finance stream there is no prediction what will he or panel will pass, and it completely depends on the panel. If the same panel remains next year, then they might repeat the same question, because they have repeated the same question from the previous year. So you could not expect that question that are being asked in general stream, like uh, development and the funds. These are not questions. But in finance stream, there are some areas where the questions are generally asked, like the project financing and the financial statement and its analysis in the of NABARD financial statement. And if you are working in some bank, they will ask about the financials of your bank, or the specific to the branch and the NPS. What are the steps has been taken by bank to cover that NPS?
Okay. So, and do you think that in the specialist post, because you have given the general interview also, and you
No,
have, okay, you have given this interview.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you have given this interview, but what do you think is the difference? Like, more HR questions were there or less HR questions were there in this interview?
More finance questions, right?
Okay,
I think
technical.
I was not given any HR question, only the introduction. And he asked me about some my background of BPSC, how much
Okay.
year you have spent in this.
Yeah.
And
So many of the aspirants are afraid now that we have the gap years, we will be grilled on that. So that was not the case with you.
yeah, that was not case with.
Yeah, that's a relief, I can say, right? Because
Yes,
even
yes, ma'am.
you must have that mindset key.
I was expecting my question from the computer and the law background, but they did not ask any question on that.
Okay, so most of the questions were from the finance stream only.
Yes, ma'am, finance.
Okay, can you tell a little about one or two technical questions that were asked from you?
Actually, there were three member panel headed by the R. Gandhi. I think he was a deputy governor of Delhi. He started with him. He asked the project finance, and it linked with the feasibility of the project. How will analyze compute the feasibility of project. And thereafter, I answered that question, and I put two terms are more important in that. That is net present value and the internal rate of return. So I have read that part of project finance, and I put that how the project is feasible or not, depending on the value of NPA, and that IRR. So he got satisfied with it, and later he asked the repetitive question about cash flow in the project. Then he switched to the another panel member. So the
Okay.
other lady panel member asked about the financial of the NABARD. She asked about the strength and weaknesses of the balance sheet. So I answered some of their questions, and they also asked me why there is a difference between the NABARD and any other company which is of the same size. That was the one question. Thereafter, she asked about the profitability ratio. In any interview or in the phase two of the finance team, I would say financial ratios are more important,
Hmm.
because in the phase two also the financial ratios are asked in the objective section of the paper. So she asked about the profitability ratio, and I could not answer, and I could not recall many terms. So she was insisting on that multiple times. I answered one or two questions, but I did not actually remember that terms.
Hmm.
So she switched to the third member. He asked about what are the I think he asked about the profit after tax of the NABARD,
Okay.
and how it is differ from other companies. Thereafter, I don't remember the exact question he has asked.
Okay, so we can say there were the technical questions, especially in the like in the specialist post. If you are giving the exam, so there will be many technical questions that will be asked because you are giving the exam for that particular post. That is the specialist one. So yeah, as you have told, there were many questions that came from the finance background, and for the students that are giving the exam from the specialist post, they must expect that okay, from their stream, the questions will be asked. Okay, so, was there any question from the website of the NABARD also? Because we like the students, aspirants usually prepare the whole of the website.
Uh, I was not asked, but he third panel member asked me the financial functions of the NAV. So that was his question, which was
Okay.
I could relate it with the where contents on their website, and I
Okay.
could also relate with that it's an annual report,
Okay.
because the most of the questions can be answered from the annual report,
Hmm.
which are technical in nature. Even
Oh,
for general stream, I think there were questions from that could be answered from the annual report.
okay. And did you say no to any of the questions that were asked?
Yes, for profitability ratios, some question I could not answer, so I said that I don't remember the ratios.
Okay. And usually when we say no, na, we get nervous. So was that situation with you also?
Yes, actually, it was the same situation for all finance students, mostly.
Okay. Okay. So now I think we are at the end of the session. And any message for the aspirants out there that are preparing for the NABARD or any other government exam, and like they will feel connected with you because they have suffered and they are giving different exams, and there are many aspirants who will be tired. So, what is your message to all of those aspirants? I can say.
I would say the demotivation is only time consuming. It will remain for 10 or 15 days only. Thereafter, you have to do anything for getting the job. So prepare well, but don't be emotional while preparing. Prepare strategically. That will benefit you a lot. And before giving any exam, know the nature of the exam structure. It's a previous year question. Then you can you have fair chance to clear that exam. And I think I have not used any motivation. Uh, 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 I would say lectures or something to motivate me. It will come naturally after some.
Yes. And one thing that you said, that do not prepare emotionally, you have to prepare strategically. That is a very good quote, I can say. And that is a very good statement that you have made, because we get to like emotional with the exam, and we try to study everything, and that is where we are putting the hard work, but we are not getting the results. So you have to do the smart work when it comes to
Smart
the
work is the
government
most
jobs.
important.
Yes. So thank you so much for this quote, for this statement. And I will always remember this statement now. I have written it down because it is a very good statement that you have made. And yes, thank you very much, Mahendra, for coming and for giving this interview. It was lovely talking with you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for giving me opportunity to represent myself.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mahendra, for